All right, all right. Hey, what's up? This is Sportzkelz, the host of the Sports and Wine Chalk Talk Show. We are here. It is Tuesday, October the 27th. It is the last week of October. Like, we are almost 60 days away from 2021. Let's go. Let's throw the whole 2021. That's why Sportzkelz, I'm going to let you show you my shirt. I had to put my $1 Million Dream shirt on this year. I had to put it on because, listen, it's been a hell of a year, and we still got some left. I see my special guest got his beverage ready. So we just gonna pop it right on in. So I'm your host, Sportzkelz Diva. I'm the one that brings you the hottest sports, but from a women's perspective. So I want to know about the huddle. I want to know what's going on from the down south to the uptown. But I want to know about me from a woman. I know some women can relate to me. You know, we want to know the stats, but I also want to know what happened when they were down 20 points and you end up winning. I want to know what was on that front line and you missed that point and you lost that game. But also something that I always love, I love track and field even when I was in high school, and I used to love watching it. And this is why I love my special guest for coming through. Especially because he's from down south. What it do? Can you
doing?
A little bit of that gumbo and some good food? So let's without ado, we have FMA. Let me get it right. FAMU Assistant Sprinters Coach Deshawn Marshall Jr. to the show. Let's give it up.
How you doing?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just finally getting inside from that humid weather outside, but I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can you bring some of that heat here, please?
I know. I heard it's pretty chilly up there.
Chilly? It's like it went from 25 degrees. You already know how OHIO is.
Yeah,
and now we back to the degree weather. I'm like, I had to go put on a skull cap. I was like, I got a little bit of hair. You already know I got a little bit of hair. I don't need no more. So I had to
the weather's so inconsistent up there.
Because it was freezing. I woke up this morning like, what is happening? And you down there with the sun and the fun.
Yep. I'm complaining about the heat.
Listen, stop complaining about that heat.
I know. I need to get used to it. You got to
get used to it. I've been seeing pictures. I'm like, can he please bring me some of this sunshine back?
Yeah. I like it, but it's a lot.
So listen, we're going to jump right into it. So what's your favorite NFL team?
My favorite NFL team was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We on the upside this year. Like I said, not as bad as we used to be. Like I said, got the GOAT, Tom Brady. Can't really go wrong with that. So, but yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers been my team since as long as I can remember, about 4 or 5 years old.
What? Since you was little? Okay, so you know about that's how I am too. Since I was about 8.
Yeah.
My Dallas Cowboys. So how it feel to have the GOAT? Like, you know.
It's good though, because like I said, last couple of years we had Jameis Winston. Like I said, he so much potential. Like I said, the NFL passing yards leader last year, but we can never keep the ball in our hands. He threw for 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. You know, that's not really, you know, the lever that you want to have. But like I said, bringing Tom Brady in, it don't get no better than that. So like I said, everything is on the upside. We're leading our division right now. First time I say maybe over 15 years. So it's good. You know, relying on the quarterback, you know, it's going to take you to the promised land more than likely.
You know, the one thing I have been with Tom Brady is that, like we were talking about off the air, I thought he was going to be a system man, like we said, and he has literally been able to come in and pick up Tampa Bay system and make it his own. Your take also too, like him being able to like make those plays with his team.
Like I said, it's good to see him, like you said, adapt to the offense. Not trying to bring in, you know, the total New England system. Because like I said, every system, we don't have the same personnel that they had. So seeing him come in and mess with our receivers, mess with our coaching staff, our training staff, it's been really good. He did it fast. He's only, you know, we didn't have a preseason this year because of COVID. We didn't really have a training camp. So with 6-7 games in, he picked it up. We're meshing pretty well, and you can see it on the field. We're looking pretty good.
You know, even with the Browns, like just to see the Browns and the Bengals, to see how they're, you know, again, we didn't have no preseason. We ain't really have even the first couple games, and we're already like 7 games in. And to see a lot of the teams that were wasn't too good last year to kind of step up their game. And then there's my.
But y'all got so much history though. Y'all got so much history. We ain't got so much history. We got to live in the now. At least y'all got something to lean back on.
We got all the pieces, but I just need for them to put it together because, like, I see it because I watch a lot of the Dallas conversations and all the Dallas talk and sports shows, and we gel in practice. But when they get on the field, it just all go down.
Yeah.
It's like even yesterday, we got beat. I'm like, even on Sunday, like really.
That was like watching my dad and my uncle, they're big fans too. So you ain't the only one kind of living in the what's going on moment for sure.
I can't even put my tattoo out. I can't even put it on. Listen, I'm the one that's trash talking in my house. Like usually my husband, he's a Bengals fan. So usually I'm putting it on him. Now I gotta sit quietly and take it out.
That's the worst. Yep, I'm already knowing. Yeah, it's totally different. Especially like I said, y'all got all the pieces. We got all the pieces.
You don't have to just do it. So to kind of just jump in and congratulations on your new position.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coming from Ohio, and listen, if y'all don't know, we got something in common. So you got to stay tuned so you can find out what we have in common. about 30 years in common, but hey,
it still matters. At heart, it's still the same.
That legacy is still there. It is strong. Yep. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. So welcome to the show. So just again, we already been talking about sports. Do you think the sports world will ever go back to, will it ever be forever changed?
I would say, I would say it'd be forever changed, but I wouldn't even say for the bad. I'd say for the good. What I mean by that, as far as just sanitation and just cleanliness, like I said, the facilities, they're going to take a little bit more pride now. And, after each competition, after each event, after each, they're going to really make sure that they wipe it down, they sanitize it, they clean it. I say as far as competition, I say it's going to eventually get back to normal. Everybody's schedule, their off-season schedule, what it seems like everybody's been affected with the most. But I think as far as performance, it'll be the same. But how, each venue or each franchise, handles after the events, I think that'll change forever. But it's not for the bad. I think it'll be for the good because there's no way. Like you see some of the pictures or the videos of people cleaning the stadiums. They're like, dang, why haven't we been doing this?
I know.
Yeah, like we've always had the resources and the ability to do so, but it seems like it takes this pandemic and this big, virus for us to even tap into that side. So I'm like, but I think it's good though, that we're going to take our hygiene and our, our cleanliness to a different level. So I think it won't go back, but I think it's for the good.
Wow. And you know what? Just you saying that, I didn't even really think about the cleanliness and when things, when it first started, I was at the Big Ten women's tournament. And that was the first time I really saw them like wipe things down, like extra precautions. And I was sitting back, like, wow, they've never really done that in previous years. And now the pandemic and just, having more space and making sure that the players and the athletes were more safe at times. And you start to really think like, wow, like why weren't they doing this already?
Yeah, why weren't we? Because I've seen commercials like, no more jersey swap. We're going to clean the jerseys, then give it to them. I'm like, why have we not been taking these precautions the whole time? Maybe we may not have even got here.
Right. Maybe just even with the bubble with the NBA and how
that was amazing. That was amazing. No COVID, no positive COVID test in 3 months. Probably some of the best basketball I've seen from top to bottom. Even the sorry teams that wasn't supposed to make it, they played. It was great. I loved every single day.
Deshawn, if you don't say it, that's what I was saying. That whole entire season, even the WNBA got more playing time because you never know when they're on the show. You never know when they are playing, and it was great for you to get that, to see them on the big stage, to see them in prime time showing, and just go back to Miami Heat. Who would have ever saw the Miami Heat and the Lakers in the finals?
That's ridiculous.
A game to get there.
Yeah, they got a really good team. Like I said, of course, injuries kind of plagued them when it mattered the most. But you can see that they're really a deserving team to be there. From their grit, their defense, their camaraderie, their everything. They're a really good team. Like I said, they just ran into David and Goliath. Right. I mean, it was just David and Goliath. Yeah, they just ran into the Monstars essentially. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, even piggybacking on the WNBA, even seeing the NBA players wear the WNBA hoodies. It was great. Like I said, if you're a sports fan, the bubbles, though, you appreciated that most definitely.
Yes, and you did, and I got to put my face because I logged in and I did the virtual fan in the stand where you could put your face in. Man, that was
I did it too. I did it for the NBA. I was on the Clippers and Mavericks game.
Okay.
Yeah. We right there. Yeah, but most definitely it was great.
Like one of the best, just actually going through it to get on. I was like on my face, like, man, who would have ever?
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
This is COVID, and just also too, it goes back to the systematic race, just things like different initiatives that were happening through the bubble with the George Floyd, with the racists, and with the riots. Everything came through the sports, and I felt this year there was a play sport, and I finally felt that athletes, and not even the athletes, the owners of these different leagues really saw what we talked about 5 years ago with COVID. And I think
that's the sad part about it. Because like I said, when he first did it, he was frowned upon. Like, he's doing this, he's being extra. Now you're an outlier if you're not kneeling.
Right.
So it's like, how did the whole spectrum just flip? And like you said, within 4 to 5 years. So now, one thing I'm anxious to kind of see, like you said, the owners, I want to see if they carry that same message, once everything is rolling back to normal. Because it's good, to do it when it's hot, when it's the hot thing to do. But like I said, I mean, majority of the owners, they're Caucasian descent. So I want to see if, everybody upholds their end of the bargain, rather than
what I'm talking about. Like 2021, 2022 is when I want to see, what's going to happen. Are the athletes are going to still have that same, the desire to do more, to understand that, there's a place, but there's also that racism that is still there. Even as an African-American woman, I see it every time when I go on the trail. I see it. I run into it. And it's always how you react to it. So to see them react, so we see the reactor. Now I want to see what's going to happen with that restore.
Most definitely, for sure.
When we all go back, are they really going to continue it? Because to see that Black Lives Matter on that floor.
That was amazing. I thought it was going to be just a game one thing. It was literally from the tip-off until the finals.
Deshawn, that's how it was going to be. And then from them wearing the jersey, which is so many integral pieces that were historical that I will never forget as a Black woman, as a woman who loves sports, just a sports fan, to see, people say, to see that happen in this time and age. It was a historical place that will happen, when my kids get older and I talk about sports when I'm 60 and 70 years old, like Black Lives Matter sign, that was literally on the court all season long.
Yep. Black Lives Matter on the jerseys. How many more on the jersey? Breonna Taylor's name on the jerseys. It was, there's no way you're going to be able to erase that.
There's
forget
no
that.
way.
You can't erase it.
History
you can't take that back.
Was made. And it was sad because some of the, I know with me being independent, I can speak what I want, but just to be able to see even the sports newscasters really go out on a limb and discuss different, initiatives that they really didn't touch, back 5 years ago, just 5 years ago, they wouldn't even touch. And this year, it literally was like this open book. And it goes back to LeBron really having an integral piece of that conversation that you wasn't going to keep him silent, and you can do nothing but commend him for it. And
most definitely. But I loved it. Like you said, just seeing the big name analysts like, Kenny Smith, Shaq, Charles Barkley. Kenny Smith walked off the show because of, what was going on the outside world. So that's stuff that you're not going to see all the time. So to see that, you're like, this isn't a game. This is for real. Everybody's really upset. Everybody wants something different. And I'm going to express it on my job, on this platform that I have. And I love that. That's something that you're going to be able to get back.
Platform that they had, the platform that we have, even yourself as a newly coach, you're a young coach and have that platform. So that kind of goes into my question, like, how do you inspire your athletes? Everything that's happening with COVID, with the, with the riots, racism, the voting that's happening. You're down south, you're in Florida. How do you inspire your athletes, and what does this season beginning for you mean as a team as well as a coach?
It kind of, piggybacks on, it kind of what HBCUs are even for. We got to stick with each other. Like I said, it's kind of like the no man left behind, no brother, no sister, man left behind. So you just got to really emphasize that, and you got to let them know. You just make sure their mental capacity is on good. Because like I said, if you're a young college student, COVID, nobody can prep you for this. Nobody can prep you for this experience. Nobody's gone through this before. So, we're learning as together. So, I know, the men's team down at FAMU, we kind of get on Zoom meetings, once a week. Check everybody's mental history. Just kind of, it's like an open floor. Just get on there, express what's going on or how you feeling. If I can help you in this way, I will. If I can't, if I know someone that can, I can kind of plug you in there. But basically this year, just making sure everybody's mental is on right. Like I said, whether it be COVID or just the election, first time voters in college, it's just a lot that we got to try to cover, as coaches. Like you said, I'm a young coach, so I just try to relate to them as much as possible. Because I feel like that's my job. Of course, be there for you, on the track, but off the track, just let you know that you got somebody that you can talk to, about anything, because like I said, I'm only 3-4 years older than, the athletes that I'm coaching, but I've still been in certain places that you haven't been yet. So, I can kind of give you the fresh wisdom that I do have. But that's just the majority of our thing now, just making sure everybody's head is on straight. Because like I said, if your head is not on straight, I don't really care about what you do on the track, because that's going to end up, expiring, one of these days. But like I said, we're just making sure everybody's, informed, making sure everybody's mental capacity is good. Like I said, we'll go from there. But that's just how we keep them all intact, just making sure everybody's good as a unit.
And with that being said, with your age, how is that relatable to your, your athletes? Because like you said, you about maybe 2-3 years your athlete.
Yeah.
So what has been
so
that?
I turned 26 on Sunday, November
Okay.
1st. So 25, I'm just as old as a grad student. So it's good though. It's really interesting because some of the athletes, they'll ask me like, "Hey, do you listen to this music?" I'm like, I'm only 25, so I'm listening to what you're listening to. But they'll give me no jokes. Yeah, back when you was running, I'm like, I was running last year, the year before. Like, so it's different. Being a 25-year-old college coach. Some of your athletes are about 22 years old. Your seniors. But it's good though. Like I said, they don't take my youth as I'm not really listening to him. Because they're trying to get where I've been or have gone. So they really listen. The kids, the athletes, they make my job a lot easier. Because like I said, even though I'm young, not far for them in age, they still show me a sign of respect. Okay. I don't want no elderly respect. I don't want too many yes sirs and no sirs. No, you know what I mean? But they good. We respect each other. Which makes the job a lot easier for me, especially my first job, my first collegiate job.
Yeah, their first collegiate job, and I know I know your mom is happy, but how does it work for you? Because you went from the Ohio State University to now a predominantly Black college. What are some of those sentiments and some of those things that you see different now that you're down south compared when you were running as a track star at Ohio State?
Like I said, and the reason I even chose Ohio State is for the coaching staff. The coaching staff, I mean, of course I'm from Columbus, so I could say like it made me feel like I was at home. But even if I feel like you took that coaching staff and moved them to another university, I still feel like I would have chose that coaching staff. Like they talked to me more about what I can do for the university. They talked to me about me personally. They learned to grow me as an athlete. So I feel like I really appreciated that. And that's what I try to give back, to the kids now. But the big difference, like I said, I mean, just seeing your people all the time. Because like I said, at Ohio State, majority of the athletes, they look like me. They look like you. You know what I mean? So, but like the regular student body, you walk through the Oval, you walk on campus, you walk on High Street. It's like, okay. I mean, they only know me for what I can do on the track, off the track, the face as far as the athletic program. But I think that's a big difference now. Like I said, I can walk through FAMU's campus and I feel like I'm at home, like literally at home, not Columbus at home, but just around my people home. Like we all going through the same things together. We all have the same, stereotypes, the same stigmas. So I'm not a minority here anymore. You know what I mean? That's what I really love. So I tell all my friends, if I wasn't an athlete, I probably wouldn't went to HBCU fresh out of high school because I just love being around my people. Like I said, I don't feel like I have to put on a front. Sometimes I feel like I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to do anything. I can really be myself. And it'll be somebody that'll feel that. They'll pick up on that. They'll, they really like that. So that's just a big difference. Sometimes at Ohio State, you feel like you gotta throw on your work face, your work voice, but I don't have to do that here. I can talk how I'm talking to you, or I can talk to how, I just really like that. I really love it a lot.
Wow. And that, that makes it probably relatable for you, for your athlete, as well as, with the administrating for the, the athletes the coaching staff for yourself. How has that been, just coming from Ohio State and now you're down in the HBCU school? How's the coaching staff, just everything that is happening, how has that been to now to rear from people who look like you, from a coaching staff that looks like you?
I think it's good because, like I said, we're all a pretty youthful coaching staff. Like the head coach, Sky Dawson, he's 29.
Wow,
so we're pretty. Yeah, we have a pretty young. So that's why I think we're able to handle this pretty well with our athletes because we're all young as a whole collective unit. Even the females coach, Coach Nadia Pompey, she's youthful. So it's just we're all experiencing it together. It's not like a generational thing. Like back in my day, nobody say that. We all living it together. So like I said, it's easy to kind of mend and relate to the athletes because, like I said, we're all going through this as first timers together. However the old, and we all look alike. So I think that's really good. Like I said, we've all came together, tremendously over these past couple of months. So that just makes it easy. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a job anymore. It just feels like this is what you like doing. This is what you want to do every day.
Yep, like your passion.
Yeah, this is what you woke up. This is what you wanted to do when you were a little kid. Like it doesn't feel like a 9 to 5.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like a 9 to 5.
So do you have a schedule? I mean, is it like a work schedule, even being an assistant coach, or you pretty much, have
not really. Like I said, you have your certain meetings. Like I said, it's hard to do recruiting right now. Because like I said, it's kind of hard to travel, to go see your athletes, to go meet your athletes, of course. So it's pretty laid back, honestly. Like I said, so practice usually lasts from about 3 to 5. You got your weightlifting. They usually have meetings after that. So it'll take probably about 5 hours out of your day. But like I said, with COVID, it's kind of knocking out a lot of the stuff, a lot of your responsibilities and duties that you would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, with COVID, we know it's here. So how have you been practice? I've been seeing you, your pictures, you're on the field and, so what's a daily life for you in getting your athletes together? So are you working out together? Or are you doing everything separate? What's for you as
we work out as a group, just a sprints group. So I handle 100 and 200 runners. We practice with the 200, 400 runners as well. The hurlers, they go earlier in the day. The distance, they go early in the morning. So we're pretty much separate. But like I said, our meetings, we're all together. We took team pictures last week. That was all together. So yeah, you're trying to stay distant as possible. But with a sport like this, you still want to have that chemistry as far as one unit. Because like I said, you don't want to practice as units and then go traveling as units. Like we want everyone to be still one unit within our subunits. So yeah, we practice a little different. But like at the end of the day, they're really cool off the track. So it makes it really easy.
Makes it easier. Wow. So with this sprinters, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? 100, 4x4?
See, it's different. Okay, so since I ran basically every event that you could possibly think of, I'd say my favorite event on the track will probably be the 4x1 running it. Because it takes trust. Like I said, you do your exchanges, it's blind. You're not looking, and it's just the quickest. You in, you out. It's 30-some seconds. But I say matter of fact, that's the most exciting. The most fun and my favorite is the 4x4, the very end of the meet. Because like I said, sometimes it can determine if you win a championship or not. I've ran in track meets that you got to win the 4x4 to win the meet. Woo. So it don't get no better. That's your buzzer beater in track. That's your buzzer beater. That's something, in the backyard or in your house, you count down 3, 2, 1 buzzer beater. It's like that. That's what it is. So that's my favorite event to run is the 4x4. 4x1 is the most exciting. But yeah, I didn't basically ran everything from the mile down. So I got a pretty good picking of what's my favorite event.
So with you actually having that experience, does that help now, being able to, pass that on to your athletes? Because
it helps a lot. It helps a lot tremendously because you have your athletes that are coming down from longer distances that want to sprint. So since I've done it, I can easily tell them like, okay, so this is what I did to kind of get me over, the hump or what I did different, what's different from long sprints to short sprints. So yeah, me having that experience and like I said, me being pretty successful at it, it makes it a lot easier for me to be able to tell the kids, at least on my end, what I think would work. Of course, I can't make you do it, but I can kind of give you suggestions just from experience for sure.
So what would be some of those suggestions that, for our sprinters who are out here who, what would you give me like 3 tips, for someone who's in long distance and now they want to become a sprinter?
So 3 quick tips I'd say for long sprinters that want to become short sprinters. Focus on the weight room.
Okay.
Focus on your technique and be willing to what I tell the athletes now, just be willing to be uncomfortable. Like get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, that applies to anything, any different setting. Okay. Like you going to a new job or new team or anything like that. You just got to be okay with being uncomfortable for the time being. After a while, that uncomfortable feeling will be a norm. So it won't be uncomfortable anymore. But those are just 3. Just focus on the weight room because you're going to need that power. Focus on your technique because that's what keeps you on the track long. No injuries. And just get used to being uncomfortable for the time being.
Wow. And that's one of my favorite is being uncomfortable. Because I think when you're uncomfortable, it allows you to spread. Like you strength that you never found because it's in that place, like your whole body just aches and you just like, you can't catch your breath because it's like, I want to learn something new. But then, like you said, once you find that passion and once you find that niche, everything else flows.
Yeah, so that's the thing we got to tell with, like I said, this is high school. We got a freshman. Her name is Jaden. She's from Atlanta. We were doing a sprinting drill yesterday. She was like, Coach, it feels like I'm about to fall on my face. I feel really uncomfortable. I said, good, because that's what it's supposed to feel like. So, you know what I mean? That's good that you're feeling uncomfortable, that you feel like you're about to fall. That's good. That's progress because that lets me know that you're doing it right.
Woo,
so it's just stuff like that. Yeah, if you feel like you're about to fall, you're doing it right. Because now you ain't gonna fall if you put your foot in front of the other one. Now run.
Yep. And I was a track star. Not even track. I ran track. Let me get that back. I ran track. But to be able to see how it has evolved, because when we, I was back in the 80s and it was very far and few again. That was our sports, but it was for other countries. So to sort of come back and, here in the States and to see how much it has evolved. So what do you take your place on, in track? Because you have your Usain Bolt, you have like the Jamaican women's track and field, but to see it actually come back to, back to the United States, what, has that been a part of your legacy of what you want to leave, just the fact that, track and field has evolved. People watch it more now than ever before.
Yep. People watch it now more. They understand it a little bit better. And like I said, you got to tip your hats to Usain Bolt. He was a showsman. He went out there. He was also fast. He was getting the job done, but he would point at the crowds, his little thing like that. He just made it fun to watch track. So that allows more other athletes, from Jamaica, United States, Canada, Mexico, China, Japan. It just allows them to show like, I can be myself. I can be a showsman, but I still got to get the work done. So I think that's really good, though. And like I said, the United States coming back around as a powerhouse in track, we're just deeper than a lot of countries. Because like I said, Usain Bolt, Jamaica had Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, Johan Blake. We had 4, 5, 6 guys in the same events. Yeah, we were just deep, but their workhorses were a little bit better than ours. But we starting to slide back around now. It's doing pretty good. It's good to see us, like I said, back on top of the podium.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see them back on the podium, to see them having a place, but also be able to, again, talk about things that matter on that podium.
Yeah, for sure.
Track, before COVID, it was actually being seen, publicly on a major stage, as I call it. Like, it was not being seen like at 6 o'clock on the ESPN2. It was on the major, actually major outlets. So where do we find like FAMU, when they're track season? Are you on TV or,
certain meets we'll go to. We open up January 11th at Clemson.
Okay.
So that'll probably be on TV. It may not be on ESPN, but it could be on like one of your, your substations. So yeah, we'll be on TV certain meets. Like I said, our championship meet will be. Like I said, I'm sure the meet at Clemson will be. We run at Clemson twice. We have nationals that should be on ESPN. So yeah, we got a couple meets that we have the opportunity to get on TV. Not a guarantee, but if we do, we need to do on the track, we'll make it there. But yeah, some of our meets will be televised for sure.
So January 11th, the start of the season.
Yeah, Clemson, South Carolina.
South Carolina. So how's it feel? How you feeling about the season? And, do you think you will have a season because of COVID?
And that's what us as coaches we were talking about. We had a meeting, I say maybe a week and a half ago. One major Division I conference, they canceled their indoor season. So of course, you take heed of that. You keep that in the back of your mind. Of course, you don't hope it happens to us, but I mean, we know it's a possibility. At least for indoor. Outdoor, I think we should have a better grasp on it. But as far as now, like we're training, as if we have a season. You just gotta be ready. So you don't gotta get ready when the time comes. But it'll be a little bit different this year because Thanksgiving break, all of our athletes are going home until January.
Oh, yes, they are. They sure are. Yep. Because my daughter's coming.
Yep. So that's about 5-6 weeks. Thanksgiving break is usually 2 weeks. So, us as, in the athletic department, it's like, okay, you're going to be on your own for 5-6 weeks. We got to hold you accountable, that you can work out on your own, that you're going to stay in tip top shape because when you come back, we got to meet that week.
Whoa.
So it's like, for the kids that'll be here, like the kids from Jacksonville, from Tallahassee, from Miami to, around the surrounding cities, we like, yeah, y'all can stay here if y'all want because we're going to be here. Me and the other coaches will be here, to still conduct some voluntary practices, but it's different. It's different from top to bottom. COVID really got everything in a spiral right now.
It sure do. And to see, even what happened with NBA, like there was 5 different major sports happening at one time. At one time. You had NBA, you had WNBA, you had the start of NFL, you had the college that was starting because
you had baseball
playing, you had baseball, you had hockey, like you
had soccer.
Everything. Soccer. You had like 7 different. So like it was for me, I was loving it because I was able to turn on my TV and be able to pick up any sport. Because you know how in between June and August, it would be all track because it would be the outdoors. So I'll be watching that. This year I was able to see like all these different sports. So what, how did you feel to be able to just watch sports continuously? Because I know you're a sports fan. We've been talking about it. What was your take on being able to watch sports, but different sports?
I was loving it. Like I said, I'm not really just directed. Of course, you got your favorite sports, but as a sports fanatic, you're going to tune in and get the general viewing of all sports. So like you said, I could turn on my TV and I could sit and watch sports, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, and just appreciate it for what it is. Because like you said, through all of this COVID, we still found a way to continue it. So you got to appreciate that, you just got to view it, when you get the opportunity. So it was like 2 weeks straight. It was a sporting event on every single day. And it's like, man, I love it. So no matter what the sport was, you were just happy to see it. Cause like I said, sports went away for about 3-4 months.
3-4 months. It was gone. Like I was like sick.
Man, in the middle of basketball season. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. So it was great though. Like I said, I could turn on my TV, no matter what it was, no matter how long I watched it, you could see a sporting event every day for 2 weeks straight.
And just have a conversation about sports. I was like, what are we going to talk about? I was so tired of watching Netflix. So let's kind of go back into that. What did you do over COVID when COVID first hit, Deshawn?
So
were you in Ohio or were you in FAMU?
I was in Ohio. It was March. It was about March, early April when everything kind of found out. So it was kind of like, this is before I even had the opportunity to come down here for FAMU. So I was working in logistics in Columbus. So like our company, it got shut down. So I'm thinking like, okay, next step, what am I going to do? So I just started doing like in-home workout. I hated push-ups all my life, but I wasn't going to go to the gym during COVID. So I started doing 300 push-ups a day, just trying to keep, your physique right. So it was different, like I say, because you can't go to the gym. No. You can't go play basketball. That's what I like to do in my off time. I like to go shoot some hoops. You got to change your whole lifestyle. So I think that's just what I started doing. I started doing a whole bunch of push-ups. I started watching a whole bunch of TV shows, binge watching old shows, new shows, movies.
What was you binge watching? Give me your first your hot 2 binge watching movies that you watched over COVID, and I'll tell you.
I would say I started rewatching an old favorite series of mine. I started watching The Office.
Oh my God.
The Office. I thought it's so in office humor. And it's so dry and it's awkward humor. I love that. I'm a goofy guy. So that stuff, it was really appealing to me. A lot of people are like, I can't get into it. I see how not. I get it. Yeah, but I started watching like this whole bunch of movies on Netflix. A good movie I watched was Extraction. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. But yeah, I just was rewatching a whole bunch of old series. My favorite series, another one is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I watched that one. So yeah, just just trying to rekindle in my brain of some of my old favorites.
Yeah, that's what we did. The Office, all the Star Wars, all the
Mm-hmm.
Transformers.
Yep, the Avengers. I was watching a bunch of Marvel.
Yeah, the Marvel. I did the
Mm-hmm.
social media. If you haven't watched on Netflix, you got to watch the social media.
I heard of it. I heard it's pretty good. I've never got to it though.
You think
Yeah,
about
I've never got
it
to
now
it.
when you're on Facebook. I always think about like where, and I've always asked that question when I first got on because my daughter's around your age. I was like, where is all my pictures going when I,
Mm-hmm.
and when I first got on Facebook, it was like 2009, and I woke up the next day, and the school that me and Deshawn both went to is Eastmore.
Well, you know it. Eastmore, emo, whatever you want to call it. You got it.
So
Put the respect on it. Just put the respect on it.
Put the respect on it. But you got to put the respect on it, Deshawn. We the original Warriors. We the original.
Y'all are.
Warriors.
I can't take that from y'all. I cannot take that from y'all. Not one bit.
I gotta respect that EA. When I first heard EA, I was like, what? EA?
Mm-hmm. I didn't. When I got to Eastmore, my mom, Christy Thornton Marshall, class in 1991. She was the one that even had to tell me that it was Eastmore first. Like it was emo. I always thought it was Eastmore Academy. Nope. So yeah, they went to emo. Then it went to COS. They merged with COS for a little bit. Yeah, it was just a whole bunch that I didn't know. But like I said, I always thought it was Eastmore Academy.
No,
It started with. Find out, I didn't know my history good enough.
It started with Eastmore Senior High, so it wasn't even. It was a ninth. That wasn't even ninth grade. It was 10th, 11th, and 12th because it was like it was a senior high, and then when
the junior high was down the street.
Yeah, and then it got integrated. Mm-hmm. So in 84, Eastmore got integrated. So that meant that everybody was on the east side of Columbus because Eastmore Senior High was predominantly white back in the 70s. So most African Americans was like East, you had your Central, Brookhaven, Beechcroft, Norfolk. Those were predominantly black schools. But on the east side, Eastmore was a predominantly white school. And then in 84, I want to say maybe 83, it got integrated where they started busing us to school. The Eastmore in 84, and then from then on it became black. So when I was graduating in 88, that's now like we had like the major athletes that went to school, so they were like the major integral part, like Choo Choo and and others. But when we graduated, that's when we started to really see the turn of the time of Eastmore becoming almost a predominantly black school, like it is now. Like EA is almost a black school.
Yeah, I think I went when I was in school at Eastmore. It was probably about. In my 4 years there, I could say maybe 10 non-black students that I had class with. One of them was my cousin. So it's just like I'm not really counting her because I mean she's family to me. She's black enough.
And that's how it was. We were mixed. I mean, there was the athletes got the most because they were black and they were the athletes. Yeah. But as time went on, my sisters got out like 91 and like 98. That's when you started seeing it like, wow, like it's all black, and even like the team. The blacks are on like the, all the different sports and the cheerleading teams, but if you said the population of the school was still predominantly white. So does this see how it's integrated and to see how the neighborhood has changed, but it's still Eastmore. You still got to put some respect on us because we the best.
So you know that. I be trying to tell them.
You got to tell them, Deshawn. You got to tell all the way down to Florida, Eastmore, baby, and Ohio. We still the best school on the east side.
Well, they better know that.
So kind of give us some 5 fun facts about Deshawn that not even maybe your mom would even know.
It's pretty hard. My mom,
you probably know everything.
I was about to say we pretty good. I'll say a couple that sometimes I even got to check myself about. Like, is it really a fact? I'm really a social butterfly that prefers to be alone initially. Like what I like to do, like I'm a social butterfly, but I like to scope the scene first. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna jump in and get social. Like I gotta feel you out. I gotta feel it first. So that'll take me a little minute. I like to be by myself a lot. One I kind of gave away earlier. Like I said, I was a pretty good sprinter in college, but I started off as a distance runner. I started off as a cross country runner. I ran cross country my freshman year of high school, freshman and junior year. Yep. I didn't run track until my junior year of high school. And that's because my mom made me. I didn't want to do it. See where it turns out. So it was a pretty good decision on her end.
Yeah, shouts out, moms.
Yeah. Another one, like I said, I hate chocolate. Anything chocolate, like chocolate ice cream, cake. But my favorite candy is Reese's Cups.
What? Wait a minute.
See. See what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
Don't
I
make
can
sense.
snack white chocolate Reese's, regular Reese's, king size Reese's, Reese's Pieces.
But
It does not matter.
chocolate.
I cannot stand chocolate. I don't like chocolate or anything. That doesn't make sense. I used to eat Snickers. I
That's
couldn't.
my favorite.
Yeah, it just. Yep. See, I won't eat anything chocolate.
Reese's cup.
Yep. Another fact that I've had to remember. Actually, only one time, I've done a Rubik's Cube in under 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're going to have to have back on the show and let's do that.
I was probably maybe like 15 or 16. I'm just lounging around. I was after school, just before practice or after practice, and I just got to it. So I think the last one, like I said, another one, I like watching professional gamers, like electronic, like Xbox players, PC players. First thing I do when I wake up, I watch their streams. I'll just get up and I'll just watch it. It kind of gets my competitive juices flowing for the day.
Competitive. You talking about the esports?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I wake up every morning and I turn them on. I'll say probably about 30 minutes to an hour. Just kind of get inspired. I play the game, but of course not on their level. But yeah, those are some of the things. Those are a couple of facts a lot of people may not know. The ones close to me, maybe not know all 5 facts.
That's what's
they know majority.
Yeah, that esports, that's what I got into, just kind of watching it from time to time when COVID first hit. And it was really big, and even in here at OSU, it was really big.
Yeah, like they were showing esports on ESPN.
Like, yes.
Yeah, yep.
Because my students, I'm a 3rd grade teacher, and my students was the one that got me hooked to it. And they were like, you got to watch these esports. And literally, I was like enthralled. Like, they would come back to school, we'd be online, and that was the first thing we would talk about would be like, who watched this? And they would tell me, and they were like, they knew all the players. They knew like how to maneuver. Like, listen, and that's how they was getting inside of things in my phone and Zoom meetings.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Esports are really interesting. It's really interesting. So I probably watch a little bit of it every single day.
Okay. Yeah, they get your mental juices flowing because it's almost like a piece where each thing has to go, and you got to know your craft. You got to know your gaming. You got to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, just anything. I'm all for competition. Whether it be rock, paper, scissors or anything competition. I'm a sucker for it.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's get this rock, paper, scissors going. We got a little bit of time. Let's go. This is what we did at school. Okay, here we go. So three out of 3. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, you got that one.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, let me see.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, I'll take that one.
Listen, at the end of the year, that's what we do. We do the pencil beating, the beatbox, all the old school. We do rock, paper, scissors. We do because again, you young people, y'all millennials, like y'all keep me going. I'm 50, and y'all keep me enthralled.
But that's good though. I respect that. Different generations try to mend with the younger or older generations. Just keep us all intact together.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, but anything competitive. Oh yeah, that's it. That gets me. That's what I do a lot of the times though. When I was a substitute teacher for like a year or two, like I see kids arguing over something. I'm like, just rock, paper, scissors for it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Just rock, paper, because that's a class. I mean, you can cheat, but I mean, it's kind of like no advantages. You just gotta guess.
You gotta guess.
You just guess. Yep.
Once you get into it, and another thing I just make you do is hit the pencils, and then do a beat. Oh, you want to argue? Drop a beat. They'd be like,
see, that's different. That's different too. But yeah, it's so many ways you can resolve a conflict. Yeah, so that's just my way. Like, why don't you just rock, paper, scissors for it?
That's what we do. That's how the rock, paper, scissors. So, talk about that rock, paper, scissors. That's the vision. What is your vision for the future of FAMU? FAMU. What's your vision? Like, what do you want to?
There's something short that I've thought about, in my brief time here. I just kind of want to make it a recognized powerhouse as far as, outside of the MEAC, outside of just the HBCU universities. I want people to look at FAMU and be like, they can compete with the SEC schools, the Big Ten schools. I just want, I just kind of want to have that effect on the program, and that starts with, inside, you kind of lay that foundation, the ethics, the morals, the work ethic. You just got to lay that down. So, when you get your recruits, sometimes your big name recruits, you get one, it turns into 3, that turns into 5. So that's just my thing. I want people to look at FAMU like, okay, they're the real deal outside of just the HBCU scale.
Right.
Yep.
Just be respected all the way around. So
rather than
get some big recruits so far, even through COVID, have you been able to?
I'm not really going to spill too many beans, but it's one athlete from Columbus I've been talking to ever since he knew I was getting the position down here. Me and him, we've been in contact. He will be a really good addition to our program. So if we get this guy, it'll be the start. It'll be the start of something special.
That's what's up. I got to respect that. Listen, I'm coming. I need to be on that roster. I'm coming so I can be up close and personal, because I covered the high school track and field 2 years in a row, and that was one of the most amazing, events to watch. Just to see young people who've been running track since they were 5-6 years old, and to see it now, it's amazing. Like even like some of the records that they're breaking. I'm like, who's doing 100 and 100-yard dash and
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I see records go down, and the records, they've came a long way so far. You got to think Jesse Owens used to have a world record. Now so many people running under his time. So like you just said, sports evolve. Now it gets to the point where records you look at them like, nah, that's not going to get touched. Then it gets broke, and it's like, how? How did you get that? How did you do that? I thought that time or that mark or distance was just untouchable. But records are getting broken every time you turn around now.
Yeah, and it's good to see that they are, because it's not, for me, I look at records as just a foundation, but I like to see where it goes, and to see these young kids and these, even in the collegiate, like I said out the air, I love the college level, because like when I was, it's hard. When you're on the college level, it's in between that have to do it because your mom, and you kind of like learn to do what you love. And then you go to college and you find this whole grit and grind and this space of heart. Like, this is me. Ain't nobody else. This is what I want. So I love
the collegiate level for the same reason that you do as well. Like I said, sometimes you can be a collegiate athlete, get good enough. Then once you get paid all those millions, you lose the passion, you lose the drive. So I feel like the successful collegiate athletes, they're doing it because they working.
Right.
It's their craft. Like they're waking up, breathing this to be successful. Like I said, in college, NFL or professional sports, you there. It don't get no higher than that. So I feel like the college athletes that are good and successful, that want to be good and successful, you can see it in their everyday life. They making the sacrifices that we talked about. Sometimes giving up your social life or focusing on this, focusing on the XYZ. I just love the college because it's all passion. It's all heart. And you, like I said, you're not getting paid for it. So you're doing it out of the embetterment, and you're setting yourself up for a better future. I love it so much.
And that's what I say, at college level, even for yourself, coming from now, a track star, and now being able to now make your mark. So that comes to what we talk about is what's the word. So listen, I just want to say thank you, Deshawn, for coming on my show. It has been a pleasure. First of all, you always gonna say Eastmore forever. We got to come back. More that rock, paper, scissors. Listen,
we can do that. We can do that.
We got to do that. And I just want to say congratulations. You are the epitome of what I say, an African American. A man doing this thing, showing your passion, and now you're here making your mark, doing what you want to do, and you're loving it. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how many dollars we make. If it's a passion, everything is going to come. Everything is going to come. Sure. And I've been watching and seeing, and it was like, wow, like your mom said, I've been trying to get you on here forever. So
yeah.
$1 million dream, baby.
As soon as you reached out, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think twice. I did not think twice. I didn't think twice at all.
So yes, I am honored and blessed to have you on the show. And listen, great things is going to keep coming. You already know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, for sure.
Keep me posted. Let's go on with this show. In the show, we always talk about what's the word. So what's the word is like your favorite quote or your phrase, something that gives you positive vibes, every day. So what's the word?
Something I kind of live by. I got it tattooed on me on my back, so I don't see it much, but it's still fresh in my mind. It's pray for the best, prepare for the worst. So what that mean? Well, I mean, self-explanatory, but how I think about it. You could always want everything to be on the up. You want everything to be good, but you also got to prepare for when it doesn't go your way. Whether that be just having a plan B, having a plan C. Like I said, you manifest it. You pray on it. But like I said, at this point, you got to be a realist. Like everything's not gonna go peaches and cream. So like I said, once you overcome those battles, those obstacles, the winning feels so much sweeter. If you get it out the mud. If it's not, just hand it to you. So yeah, that's my phrase that I live by. Just pray for the best, prepare for the worst.
Okay, love it, love it. Have you voted?
Yep, I voted.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I got my vote on curbside. I have to go and vote in person and pull that lever, but Kale's ended up hurting her foot, her calf. So I was in a boot, so I couldn't stand up. Vote curbside, so I was excited about that today. But
everybody, you got to do that. Anybody watching, gotta make sure you vote. Gotta make sure you vote. For sure.
So, we want to say give it up to our special guest in the building.
Thank you. Appreciate it once more.
Tuesday is an election of a lifetime. Make sure you are voting early, voting now. You can go to 17. If you live in Columbus, 1700 Morse Road, which is the Franklin Board of Election. Make sure you're going out there. This will be the last week that you can vote on Saturday and Sunday, and then you won't be able to vote again until November the 3rd. Make sure that you're, doing your due diligence. If you live in another city outside of Ohio, make sure you find your Board of Election. You can go on the Board of Elections website, and you can plug in your address, and they will let you know what your polling booth is at. So, thank you, Deshawn. Success for you with FAMU. I cannot wait to start this season. Hey, I'm going to do this Clemson. Listen, I travel. So
we're gonna just let me know. We're gonna try to put on the show for you. You gotta know you coming. We gotta lay it down, lay something hot down.
Yeah. So all right. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Be blessed. Have a wonderful This is your Sportzkelz Diva, your host on the Sports and Wines Chalk Talk Show. Good night.